Hi there. Today we're going to be talking about the XOS and in particular the Metro Network service. My name is Michael Best. I'm a researcher here at Nokia. I've been working on projects with the Owen Lab for the last 9 to 10 months. So got a couple of slides today and we're going to have a show a demo as well to you of the Metro Network service, but just to set it up a little bit. So we see here in this diagram, the XOS itself is represented really as this controller at the top here. And as XOS is construed, it's effectively a controller of controllers. So what we had to create is a Metro Network controller for Ethernet services within the XOS. So really when we first started working with XOS, I understood things like data center concepts, mostly data center concepts, and in particular networking, so to understand things like LAN networking used in data centers. So we undertook to teach it about metro or wider area network connections with Ethernet, teach it about things like E-line, E-tree, E-LAN, things that could be used to bolt together wider networks, and we'll see that a bit later. So under the surface, we used an API from the MEF to request services down into the network. So there's an ONOS application that implements that MEF API that we've used for this. Really, any network controller or technology that implements that MEF API could be used as a substitute here. But we've used ONOS and underneath ONOS some white switches and stuff. We'll see that in a sec. All that to deliver these end-to-end E lines that we see in the bottom end. Okay, so I'm going to flip to my VNC just to drop into the actuality of all this. And the first thing we're going to start with is the ONOS view of my little test network that I have here. So we see the ONOS GUI on the left. So I've got this MiniNet based network. And for those who don't know MiniNet, it's kind of a network simulation tool that's based around SDN white switches, and it can be managed by ONOS. So I have my very simple MiniNet network here shown in ONOS. It's these 4 switches. Each switch has one host hanging off of it. And with many things, as with many things in the SDN world, none of those hosts know how to get to each other because really the SDN network starts with no ability to move packets, and it needs to be told about how to, what kind of flows you want to have on the network. So the network comes up here. You can see me on the right-hand side here pinging with MiniNet, trying to ping between 2 of these hosts, and there's no packets flowing. So these both hosts simply don't know how to talk to each other, even in this very simple network setup. So we're going to use XOS to be able to enable that networking. So we're going to drop into the XOS GUI here now on the left, and you see this Open Cloud moniker over here, which is what you see when you open the XOS GUI. So this eCore dashboard you see on the left-hand side is the entry point for the Metro Network service. So GUI comes up and notices we don't have any E lines. That's fine. We can go and create one. So that ONOS network comes up into the XOS and shown these 4 switches, and each having these 4 hosts comes into the XOS showing these 4 endpoints, and it gives you the ability to connect E lines between them. So I've just added some Canadian kind of labels on these things. We're mostly a Canadian development team working on this stuff right now, so just arbitrarily we chose that. So I'm going to elect to create an E-line between 2 hosts, and 4 and 1 here, which I've labeled Ottawa and Toronto. And you see over here in my MiniNet on the right that those are the same hosts that I'm trying to create some ping traffic for. It's not flowing. So I'm going to create my my E-line here, or I'll call it my demo E-line, and I'm going to create that. So that's going to go into the system, and I'm going to see down here in my MiniNet, now I've got packets flowing, I've actually got bits flowing. So I've created an E-line at the XOS level that's enabled that traffic to flow from the at the actual network. And the network graph over here on the XOS is a little constrained by the size of my GUI, but that's fine. You can see the E-line would be presented over here, and the most important thing is you can see the bits flowing. So the piece is all from top to bottom is shown working there. So I'm going to flip back and go back into my presentation just to show a little bit of what we're doing next, or proposing to do next. The next stop's part 2 is looking at a few little things like E-lines and moving to E-trees and E-LANs. That's fine, but really the big thing is, and I'm going to show it graphically here, is move to this type of scenario where we have the ONS in the middle, and all the stuff we showed in the middle is here, still here. The Metro network is here with the light switches in the Metro, but we also have the ability to now integrate through with these other Accord pods that are running at the central office level. So the Metro controller will be providing effectively Ethernet level piping for putting together a wider network, which includes the central office XOS base pods. So we'll be able to create end-to-end composite networks, including VNF management and things like that, with the help of the Metro network. So that's where we're going, and that's pretty much all for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.